Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson, which will be our first on the drainage systems and water resources of Ethiopia. Last time, you learned about Ethiopia's Rift Valley system and the lowland regions of the Horn. We discussed that the Ethiopian Rift Valley system can be divided into three parts: the Afar Triangle in the north, the main Ethiopian rift in the center, and the Cho-Bahar Rift in the south. We also learned that the lowlands can be divided into the western lowlands and the southeastern lowlands. In today's lesson, we will be discussing the general characteristics of Ethiopian rivers. We will also talk about the different drainage patterns that exist within the various regions of this country. Let us begin. Ethiopia has a large number of energetic rivers flowing through its borders. These rivers provide the country with enormous potential water resources. The rivers in Ethiopia flow from the highlands of the interior to the peripheral lowlands, eventually making their way into seas and lakes. As a result, this country is often referred to as the water tower of northeastern Africa. Ethiopian rivers are characterized by an array of features. They often have steep profiles, which means they originate in high places and flow into the country's borders across lowlands. They gush through rapids and waterfalls along the way and show a variety of seasonal fluctuations in terms of water volume. Many rivers in Ethiopia run through steep-sided river valleys and gorges and serve as domestic and international boundaries. Students, please turn to page 95 in your textbook. At the bottom of the page, you will see a chart which shows a great deal of information about some of Ethiopia's major rivers. We can see the area these rivers cover, the lengths they span, and the tributaries that flow into them. Did you know that some of Ethiopia's rivers are given different names after they cross into other countries? Working with a partner, think of as many examples of this as you can.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. I wonder how many examples of this practice you and your partner were able to think of. When the river Abai passes into the Sudan, it is called the Blue Nile. The river Tigray becomes the river Athbara in the Sudan. Once the river Ganale flows into Somalia, it is referred to as the river Juba. Finally, the river Baro becomes the river Sobat in the Sudan. Great work, everyone. Drainage patterns are the fabric or surface arrangement of the main rivers and their tributaries. These features result from the underlying rock and slope of a region. Ethiopia's drainage patterns were formed from various structural events that took place during the Cenozoic era. The term drainage systems refers to the direction and destination of rivers. Ethiopia's drainage systems can be categorized into 3 groups: the Western Drainage System, the Southeastern Drainage System, and the Inland Drainage System. The Western Drainage System is the largest, both in areal extent and water volume. Made up of 3 major rivers and their tributaries, including the Tigray, Abe, and Baro Akobo rivers, the Western Drainage System contributes 60% of the country's total annual water discharge. The Southeastern Drainage System, consisting of the Ganale and Wabi Shebele rivers, is the second largest. Collecting in the highlands of Hararge, Sidamo, Bale, and Arsi, these rivers flow southeast across the Somali arid and semi-arid areas. The Southeastern Drainage System contributes about 32% of Ethiopia's annual water flow. While the Wabi Shebele is the longest river in Ethiopia, it does not reach all the way to the Indian Ocean. It ends at the Denadir coast of Somalia. The Ganale River does reach the Indian Ocean. After joining the Diwa River at the Ethiopia-Somalia border, it acquires the name Juba. The Inland Drainage System is the smallest of Ethiopia's drainage systems. The major rivers in this system are the Awash and the Omo Gibe. The system is also comprised of a number of small lakes and streams, such as Bilate and Gidabo, which flow into Lake Abaya, and the Sigan, which flows into Cho Bahar. Let us finish this lesson with one last activity. Teacher, please divide the students into groups of 3 or 4. The Awash River is the most utilized in the Rift Valley. In your groups, please discuss everything you know about this river. How big is it? How many people live in the area? Where does the Awash River flow?
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. Did your group know a lot of information about the Awash River? The basin covers a total area of 110,000 square kilometers, and about 10.5 million people live in the area. The Awash River rises from the Shiwan Plateau near Ginchi town and flows along the Rift Valley. The middle and lower parts of the river are part of the Great Rift Valley system, and the lower Awash River basin makes up the deltaic alluvial plains of the Tendaho, Asaite, and Deet-Beri areas. The Awash River eventually flows into the salty lake of Abe on the border of Djibouti. In today's lesson, you learned about some of the general characteristics of Ethiopia's rivers. You also learned about the different drainage systems that exist within the country. This brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Next time, you will learn about some of the specific lakes in Ethiopia. Until then, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.